Dwyane Wade more aggressive, a little more efficient in Game 2 in Miami's win to set up Game 3 here in South Florida. He spoke with David Aldridge.
And it's stolen by James. Here comes James, lobs to Wade. Back to James.
Much has been made about how on this team this season there's been kind of a shift towards LeBron. But you had to allow that to happen. Mm-hmm. What was your mindset as you thought about it over the last couple of years?
I mean, obviously very tough. I kind of feel like, I needed him to be more assertive, in a sense. And with him being more assertive, that would take a little bit of my assertiveness away, but not everything. I understand that this guy right now is arguably the best player in the world. And for our team to be as successful as we need to be, we need him to be the best player in the world. I felt that last year, it was an uncomfortableness, should I go? I don't want to step on no toes. And I didn't want that. I want us to be as good as we can, and, we'll figure it out. I've been a guy before that played with another superstar, a guy in his prime. And I kind of know how it looked a little bit and how it worked for us. So I just try to bring that dynamic to it and try to let Brian know that, listen, you go be the best player. Everything else will work itself out.
But it's harder for somebody who's not only been the guy on his team, but has won a championship. I mean, that puts you in a different category than most players.
Yeah, it's very hard. And no matter what anyone says from outside, no one would understand how hard it is for me, to do it, especially here in Miami. Like I said, I've seen it done before at the highest level. I've been to the mountaintop in a sense. But at the same time, when I had to sit down and I had to make a decision about my career in 2010, I made a decision that I wanted to play with these guys. I wanted to play with LeBron. I wanted to play with Chris. And I knew that with that happening, things was going to change. You kind of look at, a lot of people don't talk about the Boston Celtics, but all them guys had to take less shots, less opportunities. But they made it successful. They made it work. And it wasn't looked at as a firm. When they did, it was looked at as, this is great leadership, this is a great team. All those guys want to win, and they're doing whatever they can to win. And that's the same thing we're doing here.
Wade to James, puts up a three. Bang! Miami by 2.
When you got two players like KD and LeBron, two of the best players in our game, two of the guys that most nights have a matchup that they can exploit, it becomes a tough thing, especially when you have the ability to do similar things. And I think on one end, I can understand what Westbrook goes through from that standpoint of, listen, I got it, I can go, but you know what, I got this other guy who's very good himself.
Westbrook, nice feed, Durant throws it down. What a pretty setup for Russell Westbrook.
At the end of the day, when you look at it, you wouldn't have it any other way, because you want to play with another player that's as good as them and that brings so much attention. I've been on a team where I haven't had that. And yeah, I put up big numbers, and I've had a lot of highlights on ESPN. But at the end of the day, I didn't win. I didn't win for many years. And now, the last 2 years, I've been in the finals. And this is what I wanted. And so it's tough, but it's the sacrifices that you make.
How crucial is winning the finals for this group this year?
You have to seize the moment. I thought last year, we did a great job of getting to the finals. I felt like this year it was harder to get to the finals than it even was last year. But we're back here again, and we're back here for a reason. And, just like everybody when they get in the finals, you feel like it's our time. But, we know that these next 3 wins, it would be the toughest wins that we will ever have to be a party as a group.
I want to ask you about your book. You have 2 sons, and writing this book, I'm sure, would bring up things and issues that might be difficult to explain to them. So I'm wondering, what was the motivation for writing it?
My motivation for writing this book is, just going through my life, going through the process that I went through when it was about going from full custody of my boy. Just a lot of people had a lot of questions, and I kind of felt that I wanted to share, kind of what I went through, kind of the process, and not just about, the whole custody battle, but my whole life. Every morning you wake up, and every night you go to sleep, you have to think about them and what's important for them. The day is not about me anymore. The day of it's about me is out the window. It's all about what's best for them. It's not, it's many books out there that's written, but it's not a guide to tell you how to be the perfect parent. And, and I don't try to be the perfect parent. I know that I'm gonna make mistakes, but that's the cool thing about life. You get another opportunity every day to be able to correct it.